Hey everybody, it's Chris from Family Geekery, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Rode Wireless Me microphones to do an audio interview. Now these microphones came out recently from Rode, and I did a full review. I can put that right up in this little area here if you want to see the full review. But I just took these out to do some interviews for our podcast. If you haven't seen the Family Geekery Podcast, this is my simple little plug for it. New episodes every Tuesday. Check it out. Link down below. And when I was setting up to do the interviews, I wanted to set these up to record just to my iPhone because I knew I was going to have that with me. And I wanted to be able to talk into the receiver and then have the interviewee talk into the transmitter and then set it up so that I could record it and bring it back and edit it into the podcast. And using their suite of apps, it wasn't super easy to set up, so I wanted to take just a second to show you guys how to do it, because it's not hard, you just have to know what you're doing. So to get this done, of course, we're going to need the Wireless Me microphones, we're going to need our phone. I'm going to be using an iPhone, and then one of the included cables, so I'm going to be using the Lightning cable since it came with it for the iPhone. So to do this also, we're going to need a couple apps. The Rode Capture app is a great app for recording video interviews, and that's not what I wanted to do for this application, so we're going to skip that completely. But the first thing we do want to do is go into Rode Central. So Rode Central you can either load onto a computer or you can load it right onto a phone, so I'm going to be using my phone here. And this is basically an app to set these things up. So when you go into it, it's going to ask you to connect a Rode device, and that's what the cable is for. And once we hook this up, if the device has a firmware upgrade, it's going to tell you right on the screen, hey, there's a firmware upgrade for this. I just did it yesterday, so I doubt there's going to be one today. So we plug in the USB-C into one of the two microphones. I've got the receiver in this case. And then hook it up, and it's going to tell me right here that this is the receiver, and here's all my settings for the receiver. So if it, like I said, if it had a firmware update, it would have popped up right in front of this. But in this set here, I want to show you a couple things. The most important thing for me was the split mode. Now I've got the option of merged or split, and in this case we're going to be taking the audio from our interview, which is going to be one audio source on the transmitter, one audio source on the receiver, and we want to split those later in our audio editing software so that we can adjust the levels on both as we need. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Also, we're going to pull this recorded file right into our laptop and show you how to do that. So make sure that's set on split. If it's set on merged, then all of the audio is going to come on one track. So it's going to be pre-mixed already, and it's going to be using its gain assist right here, which I've got set to auto. It's going to use the gain assist to kind of level out those two levels. I wanted a little bit more option to change the levels on them, so I'm going to go ahead and do that split. So once you're done with the first device, we're going to plug in the second device. In this case, this is going to be the transmitter. It'll check for a firmware update, and once it finds that it's not has any, then we just have a couple settings: the gain assist, which I have again set on auto, and then the brightness of the LEDs, and I just left that to default. I did notice that outside when I was using this, and you've got the little furry windscreen on it, it is a little hard to see the LEDs. So keeping them set on bright is good, because outside then you'll be able to see to make sure that these things are turned on. Alright, so now that we've set these up in the Rode Central and made sure that all the settings are correct, we're ready to record. So we go ahead and turn these things on, and we're going to use an app to record. In this case, like I said, Rode Capture is their newest app for recording video, but we're going to be using Rode Reporter, which is kind of an older app that's been around for a while, and it doesn't look like it had an update. If you were doing this just with the video, then you wouldn't have to do the first step that we showed you with the Rode Central, because Rode Capture has the ability to set the settings to your devices inside the app. So maybe they will update the Rode Reporter to be able to do the same thing, but at this point I didn't see any function in the Rode Reporter to do that. So Rode Reporter is just what it looks like. It's just an audio recording app, and I was wondering how it was going to handle the split tracks, since there is no setting in here to do that, but it just makes perfect sense that it's just going to record it in split tracks. So right now you can see it's tracking my audio just on the internal microphone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the receiver and I'm going to plug that directly into my iPhone. And this is how it would be set up in the case of recording a audio interview out on the fly somewhere. We're going to turn both of these on. And once they're turned on, you should be able to see that it says wireless me receiver now instead. So now I've got the wireless me receiver showing up here just on the right track, and I've got nothing on the left track. So let me make sure this one turned on. So now the transmitter is turned on and it's linked, and now I can see that the audio is tracking on both tracks. Now because they're right next to each other, it's picking up my voice on both of them, and you can see that I'm nowhere close to them, and it's still coming here in the green, so that gain assist is working great. So the only way I can really show the difference between the two is maybe take this guy and put him way over here, and it's still kind of picking me up a little bit. But then maybe put him right up close to my mouth, and now you can see the left one's tracking a little bit more, and now when I take it away you can see the right one is tracking a little bit more. So it is going to be recording separately on those two tracks. So let's go ahead and do a quick test record. All we're going to do is hit this red button in the middle and it's going to start recording. Test 1, 2, 3. This is me talking right into the transmitter. Test 1, 2, 3. This is me talking closer to the receiver. So let's go ahead and bring this file into an audio editor and see what it looks like. Alright, so I've taken that file and I've loaded it right into Audacity. Audacity is an awesome open source audio editor. So you can see here I've got a stereo track, and I've got the left side, which is going to be the transmitter, and the right side, which is going to be the receiver. So if we take a listen to this real quick. Test 1, 2, 3. This is me talking right into the transmitter. Test 1, 2, 3. This is me talking closer to the receiver. Now what we see here is how I had this transmitter right up against my mouth when I was saying that, and this one I was kind of talking a little bit across the room to it. So you can see we got two different things here. So if this was my interview that I did out in the field somewhere, I'd want to kind of change that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on here and split stereo track, and now I've got two separate tracks. So now what I can do is I can grab one of these two tracks here, highlight it, and go up to the effect and select loudness normalization, and I can go ahead and normalize this audio, do the same thing on the other track, and that's going to get a little bit closer to the levels being the same. So let's take a listen to it one more time. Test 1, 2, 3. This is me talking right into the transmitter. Test 1, 2, 3. This is me talking closer to the receiver. And to help that out even more, we can go ahead and take, since this was also recording the same thing that this was here and here, we can take that and silence it out also. Just like that. And now when we listen. Test 1, 2, 3. This is me talking right into the transmitter. Test 1, 2, 3. This is me talking closer to the receiver. That sounds pretty darn good. So hopefully this is a helpful little video to show you how to take your new wireless Me microphones, take them out into the field, do some audio recording, and all you got to do is bring your phone, record everything with that, bring it back, do your editing if you need to, and it's that easy. So if this video was helpful to you, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. That helps out the channel a lot. If you want to see more content like this, I'm always doing geeky kind of things and reviewing different products and showing you guys how to use the products that you spend your good money on. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. But thank you as always for watching, and until next time, peace out and geek out.